He moved the knife and slit her throat. I had him up like this because I saw what he did to Katie and I was scared he was going to do it to me. I just laid there and pretended I was dead.
This is Crystal Searles, one of the only living survivors of a brutal serial killer's 20-year-long rampage.
Something about the blade making a slice on you, seeing it pierce open, seeing it gap, and watching the sensation of it all. Maybe I came addicted to that.
Join us as we take you on a journey of true heroism and survival as we uncover the chilling events of a typical night in the small Texas town of Del Rio that was interrupted by a nightmare. A man named Tommy Lynn Sells broke into the Harris family house with the intent to kill. Experience the terror as we follow the trail of blood and death left by Sells, and the fight for survival by Crystal as she escapes and seeks help. It was an eerie night in the small Texas town of Del Rio where the Harris family was sound asleep in their home. But little did they know their peaceful slumber was about to be interrupted by a nightmare. At around 3 a.m., a man named Tommy Lynn Sells broke into the Harris family house with the intent to kill.
I heard somebody say that they cut her fingers, and if I did, I didn't mean to do that. I just meant to slit her throat.
What Sells didn't know was that this little girl had a fighting spirit that would ultimately lead to his downfall. Sells proceeded to brutally attack the Harris family, leaving a trail of blood and death in his wake. But when he left the house, he never thought that one of his victims would survive. That victim was Crystal Searles. Despite her severe injuries, Crystal managed to escape and seek help. At around 3:30 a.m., a man was awoken abruptly by an intense knocking at his door. He opened it to the sight of a 10-year-old Crystal covered in blood, begging for help. Her throat had been cut, and she was unable to speak. With shaking hands, she wrote a note asking for help for the Harris family and asking for the police to hurry. The man immediately called 911 and Crystal was rushed to the hospital. More than 700 miles away, Crystal's mother Pam was woken up by a disturbing phone call from Valverde emergency room. They were asking for her permission to airlift Crystal to San Antonio for treatment. Pam had no idea what had happened. All she knew was that her daughter had her throat cut. She immediately made arrangements to fly to San Antonio. When Pam arrived at the hospital, she found her daughter in critical condition. Crystal's windpipes had been severed and her vocal cords had been cut. She was surrounded by tubes and machines fighting for her life. Despite her injuries, Crystal was determined to bring her attacker to justice. The first thing Crystal asked when she saw her mother was about her best friend Kate, but Pam couldn't bring herself to tell her that Kate had been killed. The Texas Rangers were called in to investigate the brutal attack on the Harris family. They were shocked by the gruesome nature of the crime and the sheer number of victims, but they were determined to bring the perpetrator to justice. They were informed that there was a surviving 10-year-old girl who was ready to talk. Texas Ranger John Allen was assigned to the case. He walked into the hospital room where Crystal was lying and assured her that they would arrest the person responsible for the attack. He knew that he had to back up that promise, and he was determined to do so. From her hospital bed, Crystal did her best to write a description of the attacker. A police artist made up a sketch from the description. The sketch and Crystal's details immediately rang a bell to a friend of the family who had seen a man named Tommy working as a used car salesman. The police quickly obtained a picture of Tommy and presented it to Crystal in a photo lineup. She immediately pointed to his picture and said, "That's him." Texas Ranger John Allen now had his primary suspect, and he set out to build a case against Tommy Lynn Sells. But as he delved deeper into Sells' past, he realized that he was dealing with a serial killer who had been on a 20-year-long rampage. Sells had been linked to multiple murders across the country, but had managed to evade capture until now. It was January 2nd when the police finally moved in on Tommy Lynn Sells' trailer. The door was unlocked. Texas Ranger John Allen walked in. He was met halfway by the suspect. Sells made no resistance and was arrested without incident. In fact, he even told John Allen, "I'm glad I finally got caught." With the arrest of Tommy Lynn Sells, the police were able to obtain confessions for multiple murders that he had committed. He also agreed to a walkthrough of the crime scene, providing the police with crucial evidence that helped to build a solid case against him.
And I found it.
Okay. Can you do that again for me, or you willing to do that again?
I reached down there and done it one more time.
Cut her some more?
Yeah, to make sure it was all the way, it was a done deal.
Crystal Searles, the 10-year-old girl who had faced death head-on and survived, played a crucial role in bringing a dangerous criminal to justice. Her courage and determination led to the capture of a serial killer, finally putting an end to his 20-year-long rampage. This is the story of a young girl who faced unimaginable horror and emerged victorious. A true hero in every sense of the word, she not only survived, but also played a crucial role in bringing a dangerous criminal to justice. She is an inspiration to us all, and her story serves as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope and the human spirit can overcome any obstacle. Don't forget to tune in next time for more thrilling content. Thank you for staying along.